Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And today, with continuing our Guru Purnima series that Dr. Pai is doing, and today we have Vanita Lenka with us, and we're going to be discussing Jupiter through each houses. So Jupiter being the Guru and on for Guru Purnima. So we're going to be talking about what it actually means, Jupiter being from first house to the 12th house. Welcome, Vanita ji. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you again, and it's always a pleasure. Pleasure is all mine whenever I'm on your channel, and I really look forward to Guru Purnima festival because this is apart from the other days, of course, the whole year long we should actually be grateful to our gurus. But yes, this is a day which is a sign like birthdays are. So this is like for gurus. So I'm really grateful to all the gurus and who have actually taught me and who are teaching me right now also. With their support only I am what I am. So my parents, my teachers, my friends, you, Dr. Pai, the colleagues who have also taught me so much. Thank you so much. And I wish you all a very happy Guru Purnima. Please do thank your gurus at least on this day, which is on the 13th of July. So I'm going to be actually thanking in my own way the most benefic planet, the most optimistic planet on this universe, that is Jupiter, Guru, Brihaspati. And how do I do it? I'm going to be doing Jupiter through houses, how it is when you are born with this placement of Guru in a particular house. See, houses remain the same. They are the static ones, but the signs change. They are the dynamic. So I'm not doing the signs. It's just that when you're born with a Jupiter in first, second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth houses, how it is going to be and what exactly it is impacting you. And maybe in a flow, I might tell you a few remedies in case, there is on my mind, at that time. So I can just say that as well. But yes, Guru being the most benefic planet, of course, on this planet, and of course, he's the one who actually sets the rules also, of how you can be happy, the most optimistic and greater fortune planet. So I'm going to be sharing my screen.
Thank you.
What is Jupiter? Jupiter is the planet of liberation, freedom of expression. So whenever you talk about Jupiter, the thing that comes into your mind, the first thing comes into mind is expansion, big, huge. So it is not just that Jupiter gives only good things. If it is afflicted, it does makes us, exaggerated expression. So we have to take it in a stride if at all your Jupiter is placed in a negative place or it is impacted by the malefic planets. So take it in a stride, because Jupiter is a planet which will combat all the negatives also. So be optimistic about it. But at the same time, these are all general rules that I'll be sharing. Big disclaimer here that don't take it that to your personal chart, because this is just a small ingredient which I'm talking about and not the whole soup which is ready. So we need all the ingredients to make a soup. So this is the planet of hope, optimism, and it is also broad-mindedness, generosity. You are going to be having some realistic expectations if you have a strong Jupiter. He's the teacher, he's the guru, he's the banker, broker, he's the philanthropist, and he is the law. If you consider anything related to law, you talk about Saturn. But Saturn and Jupiter, they are the ones who actually take you to the culmination point. If at all you're having any kind of problems in life and anything which is not materializing, you have to propitiate both. Because whenever Jupiter and Saturn are strong in a chart, definitely the events happen. Of course, with the dasha pattern also that you are in. So Jupiter is going to be giving you good results if it's placed in a good place. Afflicted Jupiter means it is debilitated, it is combust in enemy's house, or aspected or conjunct malefic planets, hemmed between malefics. So these are, not going to give you that kind of result. I will not say malefic results, but yes, the afflicted Jupiter actually is not potent to give the results, the kind of results it's supposed to. See, whenever you talk about Jupiter on Earth, also, if you will see, there are meteor showers. It said that Jupiter is the one, who actually protects us. So scientifically proven fact is also, applicable here, that Jupiter is always a saving grace in the chart if well positioned. So I will be connecting to Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra here and Bhrigu Sutram as well. What is written in the text will only be the area which will be actually linked to if I'm discussing the planet through the houses. So let's move on to Jupiter through the first house. See, whenever Jupiter is in the first house, you must understand that it is going to give you expansion. It is going to be giving you some inclination towards doing things in a positive manner. See, in the text, it's written that if it is in the Kendra, first, fourth, 7, 10, whenever Jupiter is there in its own sign, especially, in its Mool Trikona sign of Sagittarius or Pisces, it makes you a king, kings of kings, or the most knowledgeable. Okay. And this is also like Swakshetra. Shabd Shastri Adhikari means you will be master of good speech. You will be well versed with the Shastras, and you will have full knowledge of the 3 Vedas and good number of children, because from there it is looking at your 5th house. It is also looking at your 9th house, which is the house of luck. So enhancement of luck also. And it said that if it is in Cancer sign and exaltation, so it will make you a Maharaja. It is called the Maharaja Yoga. Okay. Ucche Purna Falani. So it has to give you all the, the Trivedi Bahuputravan, Sukhi Chirayu, Gyanavan, because it is looking at the 9th house and it is looking at the 5th house. So that is what is this power of Jupiter in the first. But at the same time, you must understand that if it is in the enemy sign, it will not give you those kinds of results, because you will become sinful. If it is in Capricorn, especially it is in the debilitation sign. So your sinful acts become a superpower or overseed the positivities in you. You might be ungrateful, childless, or even in the classic text is mentioned, forsake your near and the dear ones. The ones who are your well-wishers also, you will abandon them if it is in the inimical sign or in debility. And Jupiter being the greatest benefic in the first house is the very good position as it is, because it's gaining the directional strength also. Yeah. So it signifies your children, your intellect, because it's looking at the 7th house. So your partner, your marriage, happy marriage life, if it is not afflicted. And I told you that these are all general rules. All you have a weak Jupiter, because these questions we will be getting. My Jupiter is in this so-and-so sign. What is the, what will be the result? But we cannot just specify. I'll be taking up the signs also for sure in the upcoming videos whenever I can, but definitely when it is in a malefic placement and afflicted, it has to just minimize the impact of it. So it can lead to lack of mindfulness, lack of wisdom, and your bhagya also suffers. Maybe your father-like figures, or the gurus, your gurus might be, you will not be able to come across the right kind of gurus if it is weak. But if it is in the first house, definitely be rest assured that it will take care of many sins and many of the papas, the negative influences in life. Any kind of afflictions will minimize the impact only. Now coming to the, coming to the second house. When Jupiter is in the second house, it is going to be aspecting your 6th house also from here, and it's going to be aspecting your 8th house from here, and it is going to be aspecting your 10th house. So this is going to be taking good care of these zones, and it is going to be giving good impacts also. Because, when Jupiter is in the second house, it is her house of speech. Okay. So this will give you a powerful speech. Okay. let me read out the little bit of, because I'm not that well versed or well spoken, because I left Sanskrit long ago, but I'm trying myself. Dhanvan Buddhiman Ishtbhashi Shodash Varshe Dhan Dhanya Samriddhi. So what is this about? That this Jupiter in the second house will make you rich, will make you buddhiman, means it will make you intelligent. What he foretells will come true. In the 16th year, Shodash Varshe, it will give you, it will make you, give you financial gains and agricultural prosperity, because it is looking at your sixth house also from there. So it is also going to elevate you financially, prosperity. If you have any loans, you'll be able to pay off those loans as well in life, if at all you take any loans in future. He is going to be a very powerful person. Bahu Pravalyavan. So you will be very, very powerful if it is in Ucha Kshetra, means it's in your own, it's in own sign or in the exaltation. So that is something which is because of the second house. See, first house, second house placement is considered to be good because it is going to make you very wealthy. But you have to, what is the remedy? If you are having a weak Jupiter here, afflicted Jupiter, you should speak well with others. Convey, if you have any dental issues, get them cured, get them rectified. Don't postpone, don't procrastinate on that. If you want financial gains, you have to not be a liar, don't tell lies, don't use vulgar speech. That is also one of the reasons people actually suffer when Jupiter is afflicted in the second house, especially if it is in the debilitation sign. You might become drunkard, you might become immoral. That is also the destroyer of the family, because it's in the house of family. In the relations, you will have problems. It is the 8th from the 7th. If it is under affliction, only then he will be childless. Okay, he or she. And this is also the Dhanabhava. So Jupiter in the second house will give you financial prosperity early in life. And according to the author of Bhrigu Sutram, he also deals with education. Maybe you will be into education industry, you're a teacher or preacher. Okay, and this will cause obstacles in educational fields if it is under malefic influence. So what is the malefic influence? If Rahu is looking, conjunct Rahu, Saturn, or is aspected by these planets. So this will, because when Rahu and Jupiter are in mutual aspect, it's going to be minimizing the impact of Jupiter, of course. It will aggravate the energies of Rahu. So you might have problems in speech, in family values. You can become immoral, but at the same time, if it is strong, then definitely it is going to give you wealth and growth, and you're going to be this is going to be forming a strong Dhana Yoga also if it is conjunct benefits. It is said that if Jupiter is in Sagittarius for the Scorpio, and if the ascendant is Scorpio, Jupiter is in the second house as the lord of the second and the fifth. This is definitely going to be giving you wealth prospects and children also. Okay, so this is very powerful placement. It's considered to be very powerful. As per the Brihat Jataka, the person concerned will be eloquent and sweet-tongued. And in Faldipika, the native will be intelligent, handsome, eloquent, and he will have good food to eat and will improve all the good significations of this house. One more signification which can enhance is that this Jupiter will give you, inclination to eat sweets more. Okay, in the first house, it was, I missed out. It gives weight gain. So that is the affliction part, actually. So you should donate sugar. You should do remedies for, calming this Jupiter. So whatever problems you have, any kind of liver issues, kidney issues, so you should be donating those things which are related to Jupiter. And in Saravali, it said that you're fond of luxuries, and the family is very literate. When Jupiter is in the second house, the family is also very, very, sweet-tongued and very good relations with them. In Chamatkar Chintamani, it said that he's fond of poetry and he is well versed with administrative affairs. He will suffer on account of lack of food if it is afflicted, or he will be very talkative, because Jupiter, a teacher, has to talk, right? And in the second house, he will be more talkative. and he will earn wealth. And if at all it's in the second house and focused on making money more, then it is not a good thing. The intention should be to impart knowledge. The intention should be not towards material growth, because Jupiter is the jiva karaka. So if you look after the family, that will be the way of enhancing your own self, your own knowledge, and as well making your wealth also. So it's something which you should actually consider very seriously, if at all you are not doing things related to Jupiter. Jupiter is not a materialistic planet at all. Coming to the next sign, that is the next one, that is third house. Jupiter in the third house. So when Jupiter is in the third house, the best thing would be about communication, right? But in the classic text, it's mentioned ati lubdha bhratra vriddhi dakshinayayvan sankalpa siddhi karha. Now, what is happening here? In the third house, the native is very miser, ati lubdha. He's very miser. And it is very good for the growth of the, see, why is it miser? Because this Jupiter is not happy in the third house. The Soumya grahas are not considered to be good in the third house, because you need courage. Now, to spend also you need courage. So Jupiter being there, is very insecure. So he just doesn't want to spend. So he tries to hold on to the possessions or on whatever he has. And he has many brothers. It said bhratra vriddhi, means you have too many brothers, siblings, basically. And it said that at the age of Ashta Tridar Varshe, means 38th year, you will be leaving your family and you'll be traveling away from them at the age of 38. It's written in the classic texts. I don't know the logic behind it, but it's maybe it's completion of the cycles. Maybe the third cycle finishes at that time, so maybe he leaves at that time, because it's the third house. So it said that when the cycle is complete, in the 24th year, you change your line of profession, your education, you go to the university and all. And the third cycle is the third house. So maybe that is where the travels begin. You leave the place. In the earlier times, going away from the family was a big thing. Nowadays, we go, we just want to leave and go for further education, for profession. So it's considered to be good. But as per the classic text, it's considered to be forsaken. You are forsaking your relations. So that is in the third house. And the brothers are long-lived, because it's the third house after all, and Jupiter being there gives longevity, increases the longevity also. And if the third house is associated with the malefic planets, then there is a problem either to the siblings, or they lack wisdom. It's actually saying that they are not if they are dhairyahin, it's written dhairyahin, means they don't have patience, they lose patience. As it is, Jupiter is a teacher. So, it said that, Jupiter doesn't like anybody to dominate him. The teacher doesn't want to listen to the students at times. He wants, no, I'm the one, that ego is also there of the teacher. So if the third house is aspected by benefics, then definitely these will minimize the negatives. And this is also going to give you happy married life. From the third house, it is looking at your 7th, it's looking at your 11th. So financial gains are definitely on cards. You will be stingy, you will be miser. So the best remedy I can give you is that donate. Try to be more generous. If you want this Jupiter to give you good results, you should be more generous. And you should not humiliate your brothers, your siblings at any cost. So be more receptive to them. Don't be too dominating. Don't be sinful also, because Jupiter looking at the 7th house might make you sinful as well. And don't be ungrateful. You consider yourself fortunate, and then things will start happening. Okay. So coming to the
yeah. Sorry, quick question. So did you say donate sweets for the second house Jupiter, or was it for the first house Jupiter?
See, any which ways, if you have afflicted Jupiter in the chart, you should donate sweets. That's the best remedy for Jupiter. You should actually be teaching a child, impart your knowledge. That's the remedy. And second house Jupiter, as it is, you should be imparting knowledge. You should be doing for your family unconditionally. That is also one best remedy for that. And
So much. Thank you.
okay.
I say it's a lot to learn. Yeah.
So see, interpreting these planets, casually you can do it. It's very easy. It sounds very easy, but you should actually read between the lines what the classic texts are saying. And then we have to interpret. And that's what this 28 years of experience is, like coming out now. And I love to teach as it is, so that's one reason. So what about the fourth house Jupiter? So when Jupiter is in the fourth house, Sukhi Kshetravan Buddhiman, Shir Samriddha Sanmanaha Medhavi. So fourth house Jupiter, if it is in its own zone, especially, it is causing the Panchama Purusha Yoga, that is the Hamsa Yoga. You're born with a very strong Jupiter, first house, fourth house, seventh house, 10th house. It's considered to be excellent. You are happy, you are Sukhi, you are Kshetravan, means you will have a lot of property also. And you will be known, you will be a known personality, highly intelligent, Buddhiman, Shir Samriddh. You will be having a very good code of conduct, highly intelligent. And you will also be a landlord, as I said, Kshetravan. So, and you will have abundance of milk. Kshir means milk. So you will, because it's a fourth house is governed by moon. And here it's sort of an exalted Jupiter, because fourth house is ruled by moon, and moon is milk. So when you, in earlier times, when you had abundance of milk, it meant that you are really, having those, anybody who had milk, is considered to be dhanwan, is going to be considered to be very rich, generous, and very, amongst those kingly people. So this is how, we are relating to the fourth house. If the Lord of the fourth is strong and associated with Venus and Moon, then it's written in this that if it is conjunct or if it's related to Moon, then again, you will be having a lot of vehicles. You will, earlier times it used to be the elephants, you will be owning elephants. It's written in the Sanskrit. So you will be having conveyance. You'll have horses, you will have lands. It's now, if you will have conveyance, and bigger ones, very huge conveyances you will be having. And the mother will also be very guru like, if it is in the fourth house. And if affliction is there, then the relation with mother will suffer. Okay. Matra nasham bandhu dveshi. If at all you have any kind of problems in the fourth house, Rahu, Ketu, Shani, then the mother is also, maybe she suffers, or there are problems in the relationship. The there are certain effects, like if at all it is exalted, then of course it is going to give positive results. If it is not, then it is, and it is also causing a sort of Gajakeshari yoga, if it all moon is also in the fourth house or is in the Kendra. So it said that, you have, a very good reputation around the place you live in. Okay. Even after you die, you're considered to be very famous. You get that name and fame, and you'll be very happy because it's the house of happiness. So it will give you happiness from mother, friends, children, wife, land, all the things that you name it, you will get. Okay. And you will, if at all it is afflicted, it gives humiliation from the enemies. So for that, you should actually, because from there it is looking at your 8th house also. So you have to be extra careful about your image in the public. You should be donating something in yellow to the people. And children, small children, this is a very important remedy. You know, if at all you feel that your Jupiter is afflicted in the 4th house, do for the children who are underprivileged. Do that and you will get that. And the old ladies, you know, because it's a house of mother also. So if you will do it, you definitely will be out of the problems you're having. It is also said that, you know, you will be able to win over the enemies if Jupiter is strong. Okay, let's move on to the 5th house. So when Jupiter is in the 5th house, it is looking at your, from here, it is looking at your 9th house, the luck house, and your 1st house also. So this is a very important placement, because first thing, people will say that you will have children, but this is the placement for Karko Bhavna Shai. So you have to be careful when Jupiter is here. It is said Buddhi Chaturvan. You are Buddhi Chaturvan, means you are having, you're highly intelligent. Vishal Lakshana, that means you have broad eyes. And good conversationalist, means you are very good at speech when Jupiter is in the 5th house. And you will be a good conversationalist, you will be full of glory, you will feed others, you will love your family. And it is said that in your 18th year, you will be actually the king of the kings. Because the first cycle gets over, and then like it's like, you know, first cycle gets over after 16 years and then starts the other cycle. So by that time you are well learned, well educated, and you are having that commanding command over others, because your luck house is also by your side. Okay, and this is it's said that Papa Kshetra, if at all it is in the Papa Kshetra, then Putra Nashaha. That means you will be having problems to the children if at all you are under influence of the malefic planets, or it is in the sign of debilitation. So you will have problems with the government also, and you will suffer losses because of children or to the children. Rajadware, Rajamulen, Dhan Vyayaha, means you will be wasting money if at all you are having any kind of affliction. Okay. And also, you know, it's said that, you know, with this placement, you tend to lose respect if it's under affliction, heavy affliction, because, you know, this is the zone ruled by sun. That is why they are connecting it to sun, the authorities, the kings, or the government. So you can have problems or defamation also if at all it's connected to Rahu, especially when Jupiter and Rahu are together, and in Leo sign especially, defamation is sure. Once at least in life you have to go through that. Okay, and you will be getting favor from the government if this Jupiter is strong, and you will be getting over or you can suppress the enemies also. You can win over the enemies, and you will be having a mantra siddhi. You will be having sutras knowledge, text knowledge. You will be very strong here. But at the same time, one sun. If at all Jupiter is in the 5th house, you will have one sun. Or if it is under malefic influence or debilitation, or it's in enemy sign, then it can lead to no children also. It said that you will have one son. It doesn't mean son only. It is like any child, any gender, irrespective of that. So you will be wealthy, and you will have lot of connection with the government also. Bad effects can lead to problems in those areas. Okay. As per the Brihat Jataka, the native will be intelligent. As per Faldipika, intelligent and a minister to the king, and will be unhappy on account of children. And as per Saravali, the native will be happy, will have good number of children, will be learned, tolerant, permanently wealthy. And as per Chamatkar Chintamani, it's showing that he'll be very imaginative, very good orator and writer. Okay. So, you know, you have to pick these from each text and then make the notes. So you must do it because it is also the place where Karko Bhavna Shai theory works. So you have to be, you don't have to think that, no, now I will never have children. No, it's not like that. It has to have malefic influence. Only then these rules will work. If you have benefic influence, of course, you will have children, it's not that you will not have children. Coming to the sixth house, Jupiter. Now here, sixth house Jupiter means it's looking at your 10th house, and it is also looking at your second. So it is definitely very positive for these areas. It said that Shatrukshay means the destruction of the enemies. Gyati Vriddhi means you will be having your relatives. Patra the Darshan means you will have, there will be growth of members. Gyati Vriddhi, members of the family increase, and you will have nephews and in-laws. He will be having grand family and children. And if this Jupiter is in conjunction to benefics, then you're free from diseases. You will get bigger diseases, remember, because this is the sixth house. So anything you get will be big. Loans will be bigger loans. You will not take smaller loans, but at the same time, you'll be able to pay them off. If you have diseases, you'll be free from diseases also. You have to get the diseases to get free of them. So this sixth house Jupiter is not considered to be that good. Also, like third house Jupiter, sixth house Jupiter, 10th house Jupiter, 11th house Jupiter. These are the Upchaya houses, and benefic planners, they really don't like to be in these placements. So here you will be free of Jupiter diseases only if you have disease. At the same time, you will have bigger diseases, and this will, and bigger enemies also. It said that you will not be interested in enmity. It's also a very positive placement for that reason. And in case you have anything to do with rheumatism, diseases due to cold, that will also be taken care of. If it all Saturn signs, Capricorn and Aquarius, are in the sixth house, or they are associated with the Rahu Ketu, then you will have to suffer from the diseases of the worst type. So you have to see in your chart and then see what is the other benefic influence. Maybe Venus is also conjunct, or Venus is looking here. Then it will minimize these, right? So you don't have to go by this, that the classic texts are saying that, if it is in Capricorn and Aquarius, we have to go through all this, right? So the best remedy is that start donating whatever, you are actually, very attached to. Start donating those things. When you do that, you actually become very detached from, you start getting detached from the worldly things, and this will give you that relief from the diseases that you're going through. This is a practical remedy, tried and tested. And if you will start doing it, something which you really don't want to part with, if you part with that, means you can separate. Maybe you're very possessive and particular about your children, about your somebody in your relatives, you are very, very close to. So you should separate from them. You should get detached from them. Only then there will be a possibility of coming out of the diseases and the problems and the enmity that you have with people. Okay, because when you are very attached to something, your perspective is completely confined to yourself. So you have to actually broaden up your horizons and your perspective. Only then you will get the positive energies in your life, and that will just flow, free flow. Okay. And also in the sutras, what is given is that Jupiter as a natural benefic will give good results in regard to the significations of the sixth house, unless it is afflicted. He's afflicted. And the sixth house is not a significator of children or grandchildren. It is therefore not to be understood that it is going to give negative impact to your children. Okay. And in case, in Brihad Jataka, it is said that you will be concerned about the enemies more. Oh, this is something I have to, maybe some litigation is there. You're all the time thinking about it. So that is something that it's not just enemies. Enemies these days is litigation. The enemies are your own, taste buds, your senses, five senses. Too much of obsession with anybody is enemies. So that you have to give up on. Only then you will be able to. In Faldipika, it said that the native will destroy his enemies if he has this Jupiter in the 6th house, and he becomes very lazy. He gets humiliated if affliction is there. And he will take interest in recitation of mantras and will be very clever. Okay. As per Saravali, it said that you will win over the enemies, you will be famous, lazy, and you will gain name and fame because it's looking at your 10th house also. Okay. And 2nd house, of course, will enhance the number of your family members, and they'll be very knowledgeable. You will be from an affluent family. It said that when Jupiter is looking at the 2nd house, that's what I've seen in many charts. And you will be getting the favors from the authorities also. Okay. You'll be more logical, reasonable, and you will be looking at people in a very broader perspective if Jupiter is the benefic Jupiter. It's coming to the 7th house Jupiter. Now, suppose, irrespective of the sign, I'm not talking about the sign because signs are dynamic, they keep changing. So that is your personal thing. I will be taking up the signs maybe later. Okay. So when Jupiter is in the 7th house, it's Vidya Dhaneshaha. The Jupiter in the 7th house is highly educated, but it makes you worried. Bahu labh prada chinta adhikaha. Vidyavana pativrata bhakti yukt kalatraha. Bhakti yukt kalatra. Kalatra, this is the kalatra bhav. 7th house is the kalatra bhav, that is the house of marriage. So somebody who is very, very educated, who is also worried, chintadhik. Why it is considered to be chintadhik? Because Jupiter is not considered to be a planet happy in the world. He's not a worldly planet. So when he is in the 7th house, he is like, in the Venus's place. So he will be worried about things which are on the material plane. So that is why Jupiter is not considered to be happy in the 7th house, because he is not a worldly planet. He doesn't want to marry. He does, as it is, Jupiter in Libra sign or in the 7th house is also like, Karko Bhavna shy or is unhappy placement. And that is why he is worried about the relationship, because he is not into it. So he has to devote himself. He has to put more effort to work through the marriage or the relationship. He's highly educated. He has a lot of financial gains. His wife is also learned, chaste and devoted. Okay. Vidyavan, Kalatra. Kalatra means the wife. Pativrata. So that wife is very dedicated. Bhakti yukt means will be very devoted to the husband, or the vice versa, the spouse, the partner. He will be or she will be very, very devoted. If the 7th house is weak, 7th house dispositor is also weak, associated with Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Mars, all the malefics, then the person can, now again, disclaimer, very, very general, can be involved in illicit relationships because Jupiter expands the energies of those malefic planets. So one can have relationship out of the relationships and can be less devoted to the partner. So don't take it very seriously. It's a very general statement. Again, I repeat. And it's said that if Jupiter is connected with benefics, this is a very positive placement. Why? Because this is also forming a Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga, Hamsa Yoga, because if Jupiter is in Cancer sign or is in Swashetra, that is in Sagittarius or Pisces. Again, very, very respectful place. The person is respected all across and very happy, but very little marital bliss, because Jupiter is not too happy in the 7th house because of the relationships. He's not the one who is involved in the worldly matters. That is why in the 10th house also, he doesn't want to work. He wants to teach. He's not the one who wants to earn. So that is why he will be happy and earn great respect at the 34th year especially. Okay. Then Jupiter will give you different subjects, knowledge of different subjects, different, you'll be expanding your horizon. And also there can be the doubt that you have, they will be cleared when Jupiter is in this house. Okay. And it will give you, it will also make this kind of a disposition will give you dhana vriddhi also, because from the 7th house it's looking directly at your 11th house. So fulfillment of desires, all the efforts will be paid off. And also the 3rd house, so your parakram, your willpower and the courage also is enhanced, depending on the sign there also, that will double up. And as per Brihad Jataka, the person concerned will be excelling in his duties. His qualities will be just like his father or the guru. He's like a guru also. And the native will have a blessed, wife, and he will be he'll be blessed with children also. And he will be, as per Saravali, the native will be handsome, will be beautiful, and the he or she or the wife will be beautiful. And there will be some superior kind of qualities. The tastes are very, very superior about the learning part I'm talking. Because the superior qualities, the aesthetics, when we talk of Venus. But when we talk of this guru, in fact, we should discuss Venus also through houses soon, because that is also the guru, And for Guru Purnima, I think, Navjeet, we should do that as well.
Sure.
That's just got that, So we should do that. So when Jupiter is here, as per Chamatkar Chintamani, he will be powerful and very handsome. And he will be possessed with a very knowledgeable, knowledge of text, knowledge of mantras, and he will be more inclined to gain knowledge also. Okay. Coming to the 8th house, Jupiter, irrespective of the sign, again, I repeat. So when Jupiter is in the 8th house, Alpa Ayu, again, please don't go by the words. Nich Krit Kritakari. Okay, now let me tell you, what does this mean? It is short-lived, indulge in undesirable nicha, not niche, niche kritya means undesirable activities. Okay, Papa Yute Patitaha. If Jupiter is associated with malefic planets, he becomes Patitaha. Patitaha means sinful. Okay, Bhavadhipya means if Jupiter is associated with a malefic, Shubha Yute Randhare Dirdha Ayu. If at all Jupiter is associated with the Lord of the 8th or with benefic, then he is long-lived. Dirdha Ayu. He is, it's like with the Shubh planet or with the 8th Lord, then he's long-lived. If the Lord of the 8th is weak, then he will be short-lived. Or maybe, if there is a lot of affliction, then it is considered to be a malefic placement for this Jupiter. Okay. And it said that he can have, if you don't consider the lifespan, nowadays we do consider the the quality of life. Maybe you are having multiple relationships if Jupiter is in the 8th house. So it's not like I've seen in many charts, from my experience, I'm saying so, that it's not about the Jupiter's placement in the 8th house will give you short life. It can give you bad, sinful life also. So you can maybe be associated with multiple people. You can have illicit relationship after your marriage also, or it can give you those kinds of diseases which are not curable. Okay. And you can maybe, if it is with a good planet or is not afflicted, then this Jupiter is very, very potent to give you the relief from the diseases also. You will come out of the disease that you are suffering with. You are a person who's learned, well-versed with Vedas, Shastras. So this is a very, very strong placement also of Jupiter. As it is, 8th house is a very, if you consider 8th house in the natural zodiac is ruled by Mars, his friend. And Jupiter is in Scorpio sign, suppose in the 8th house. So this person will inherently have this inclination to do for others, heal others, and will also be in a position to guide others and to learn the Shastras, and will have this quality inherently. Okay, if this is a suppose in Scorpio, or it is already unafflicted Jupiter, any sign, irrespective of the sign. Okay, and from here, Jupiter is looking at your second house also. So this will be giving you dhana also. It will be giving you lot of wealth as well. Okay. And if it is in Sagittarius, or it is in its own zone, then also this will give you benefic influence, like this is a benefic placement. It will enhance your longevity. You will have good health. So that is why, you should not just write it off completely. So this is also that the native will be base. That is what the Brihad Jataka says. Means he will be not coming up. He will just have that baseline. He will not be able to grow that way. If at all, Jupiter is, even if the person keeps trying, will not be able to rise, because it's a very deep house, and Jupiter, when goes inside that, he keeps learning the whole life long, but doesn't come up with the, or doesn't come out of that particular zone or shine. Okay, and the native will be poor. In Faldipika, it's written the native will be poor and will earn livelihood by serving others. Okay, and he will be long-lived but indulge in sinful deeds. Now, see here, I would like to modify this statement. Modify, like we cannot touch the text, classic text, whatever they have, the gurus have written. We should stick to it. But I want to make you understand what exactly it means. See, the native will be poor. Poor of what? The knowledge that you have, you're not able to impart that knowledge, or you're not gaining that kind of knowledge that you are, you're wanting to. Because Jupiter here is indulgent. He is just focused on the material world more. 8th house takes you away from the spirituality, the kind of Jupiter should be, the Jupiter qualities, they suffer here. Any planet who comes here, suffers. So Jupiter, being a benefic, suffers the most. And this also gives you long life, but you are indulgent. Okay, so that is why you have to increase that benchmark so that you can come out of it. Saravali says that the native will be long lived, but will live with humiliation and will serve others. Okay, now here also it is indicative of the same, that you have the knowledge, still you are serving others. You are not able to get the kind of reward you are actually supposed to. So that is also because of, and you get connected with the low caste women. It's said in the Saravali text. So that is also like low caste women or men, whatever, but you have multiplicity, or you have too many relations. You're too indulgent. And especially when Jupiter, I would not write it off completely, because Jupiter is Jupiter. So when Jupiter is aspected or is conjunct with Rahu, Saturn, Ketu and all, then this actually happens even more. Chamatkar Chintamani says the native will not live in his paternal house for a long time. See, now comes the actual part. So when there is a negative influence on any of the house, so the best is that you leave the place you're born in. Once you leave the country, because it's looking at your 12th house also from here. So it means that you will be having, you will have to leave the place where you were born and move to another place. It will give you good health, and you will be going to heaven after death. Okay, so that is also because of this, as per Chamatkar Chintamani. Okay, now don't go by this, that it's a short life, or the native will have illicit relationship. Just don't think like that. You can have some some kind of maybe you're not getting the kind of results you're waiting for. You're not appreciated that way. So Jupiter in the 9th house is looking at your 5th, is looking at your 1st also. And Jupiter in the 9th house The first thing written in the classic text is dharmika, tapasvi, sadhu tarud, dhanik. So he is actually, like charitable also. He is dharmic, as in like he's very, very religious. He does charitable deeds, takes interest in meditation. This is a very pious placement and is also looking at your first house. So you are going to be performing the lagna. You are going to be performing religious ceremonies at the age of 35 years. Okay. Panchtri Shakdha Karta. Pitra Dirdhayu. So father will be long lived, and at 35th year, you will perform good rituals. Okay. Satkarma Siddhi. So you will be doing only righteous things only. And you will get Anek Pratishtavan. You will be getting the respect and the honors. Bahujan Palakaha, you will be protecting many. You are the Palaka, means you are going to be protecting others. You are protecting others how? You are imparting your knowledge. So when you impart your knowledge, you are enlightening them from the wrong things, the wrong knowledge. So you are actually helping others by being a guru to them, following the righteous path. Religious ceremonies means what in these days? Like you are actually a teacher yourself. You are giving your good knowledge, good thoughts you are imparting. And if you're not, this can be your remedy. If at all you feel that you're not having benefic influence on this ninth house. So do this. Start doing for others. Impart your knowledge to others. And then you will be able to come out of the negative influence of this Jupiter. This also gives, it improves all the significations of the ninth house, of course. And if it is going to be a Cancer sign or a Mool Trikona sign, definitely it is forming a Raja Yoga for you. So Raja Yoga means that you are going to be wealthy of your knowledge. That is what Jupiter's wealth is. It's not the material wealth. It's only the philosophical or the religious or the knowledge of the text. That is what is this Jupiter in the ninth house. You're blessed with children, you perform big things, big rituals, and you are very learned also. You can be the, maybe you will be the principal of the school once you do so well, that principalhood, like maybe something of that stature. You will reach to that level if you have that kind of combination in your chart also. This is definitely very, very positive. And you should also be donating sugar. You should also look after your health, because Jupiter is looking at your first house. It is expansive and it also boosts your ego. So that is also the negative expression of Jupiter, because Jupiter definitely will lead to obesity. It's expansive energy and many children. Jupiter looking at your fifth house will give you many children. Jupiter in the 10th house. From here, it's looking at your second house and your sixth house as well. So this Jupiter in the 10th house is Dharmik, Shubh Karmakari, Gita Pathaka, Yogyatavan, Praud Kirti, Bahujan Pujya, Bhavadipe, Balayute, Vishesh Kriti Siddhi. So it means that you are dharmic, you're religious minded. And Shubh Karmakari means you will be doing only righteous deed. Gita Pathaka means you will be studying Gita. You will be able to perform the activities which actually are widespread. People will be looking up to you. You're respected. You are Bahujan Pujye means people will respect you to that level that they will be praying you. They'll be offering respect to that extent. You are actually being fond. People are fond of you. That is what you're respected in masses. And this will bring about a lot of reputation to you, religious sacrifices. You will be doing things which will take others to a higher level. So again, very good placement for teachers. This placement is not good for the ones who are into business, because they will be like Saumya Grahas don't do well for the business minded people. For that, you need Mercury, strong Mercury, you need Rahu, you need Sun, you need those kind of Krur Grahas or the malefic influence on, because you have to do any kind of thing, good, bad. You can't be like Jupiter. So that is why when you have to make the career, you should not, if this Jupiter is in the 10th house, don't perform or indulge in any evil deeds, any kind of deeds which actually give you a professional career, and then you, which is time being, then you have to come out of it. You will get obstacles. You will not be able to flourish. If at all you are in doing any kind of deeds which are not righteous deeds, which are evil deeds, so that you have to be papa yute, papa kshetre, karma vigna. So if you will do the papa activities, the wrong activities, you will have karma vigna, means you will have obstacles in your growth, in your profession career. So you have to follow the right path. And that is why this is also called the debilitation place for Jupiter. Capricorn in the natural zodiac is a debilitation sign for Jupiter. That is why he suffers here financially. You will never ever grow if you are, because you will be pushed to do wrong activities. Unfair means Sun is Digbala here, Mars is Digbala here, Jupiter is not. And that is the reason when you are courageous, you are doing bad deeds, evil deeds, or any losing out on the righteousness, you have to have a strong Mars. You have to have Rahu's influence, because it requires courage. How can you do bad deeds unless you have, malefic influence on the 10th house, right? 10th house is house of authority, name and fame. You will be getting the name and fame which you're looking for only if you're on the right path. This Jupiter will give you exponential growth, but it has to be either in Pisces or in Sagittarius or in Cancer sign. Only these three signs, if the 10th house has this Jupiter, will give you very good results. Okay. And wealth also. And it's looking at the 6th house. So it will protect you from the enemies and diseases as well. Okay. And as per the Jupiter in Brihad Jataka, this shows the native will be very wealthy. In Phaladipika, it is said that you will be very fond. People will be fond of you, especially the king, the government, or the authorities. You're working for, because you are following the right path. So people actually like the people who are very dedicated kind. So here Jupiter makes you very dedicated, very hard working also. So even if you don't want to, but you have to. Okay, because Jupiter is not a planet of hard work, no way. And he's respected, he has confidence, and he enjoys the conveyance also, because it's looking at the 4th house. So you will have landed properties, you will have happiness from home, from family members. All that comes, these are the perks of Jupiter in the Kendra, as it is. Any which ways, it's very good. And you get the blessings from your forefathers also, it's said, because 10th house is also considered to be the house of father for some. And this also, it's like, a flag will fly on the top of the house of the native, as per Chamatkar Chintamani. So it means that you will be in associated with the government or the embassy or somewhere. You are an ambassador. So you will have a flag of the nation or the place you're working. So when do you put up the flag? When it means, you can just derive the meaning out of it, that you are at an authoritative position, a respectable position, in fact. Okay, because of the flag thing, then you are going to be having good relation with the authorities. Okay, coming to the 11th house. Now, when Jupiter is in the 11th house, it's looking at your 3rd, it's looking at your 7th. Again, very positive. And positive for what? For financial gains. Let me read this. With Vidwan, Dhanwan, Bahula Bhavan. Then you have Anek Pratishtha Siddhi, Shubh Pap Yute Gajalabham. Gaj is elephants, right? Bhagya Vriddhi, Chandra Yute Nikshe Labh. Okay, now let me interpret it. So if Jupiter is in the 11th house, he will be Vidwan, he'll be Dhanwan. That means he'll be learned, he'll be wealthy, he'll be with the financial gains. And in the 32nd year, it said that after the second cycle, third cycle, in fact, about that around that time, this means that you will possess horses or the elephants. You will be widely, known. People will know you. You will be with very high reputation, and your good luck. You're the good luck charm to others, and you are going to be also considered to be having a good luck. You will be having um, a lot of wealth, a lot of money, and very good partner also. Okay, the effortless financial gains. So the interpretation is such. I have added few things of mine. Please don't come back later saying that the shloka and the sutra was saying something else and Vanita is saying something else. It's just that I am mixing my interpretations also in this. So please don't say anything like that, which hurts me. Okay, so you will be enjoying increased prosperity, and of course, this will give you a lot of benefic influence also from the outsiders. Okay, so this is a very positive one, especially if it is a Sagittarius, Aquarius, or the Sagittarius ascendant people. They will also be doing well, with this. Because it is going to give you dhana yogas. As per Brihad Jataka, you'll be prosperous. Phaladipika says wealthy, fearless, because the third house also it's looking at long-lived, and very few children though, because it's looking at the fifth house. Okay, and you will have many conveyances, and you will be having financial gains as per Saravali also. But your children will not be well educated, or you will not be that well educated, because it's looking at your fifth house, and you possess articles of gold, silver. Your father is also leading a luxurious life. So all that is as per the other classic texts. So let's move on to the last one, that is the 12th house, Jupiter. So when Jupiter is in the 12th house, it is also aspecting your 4th house and your 8th houses. Okay, so this is giving you Nirdhana Patitha Alpaputra Ganita Shastragya Sambhogi. Okay, now here he will be poor, Nirdhan. Why poor? Because a teacher cannot be rich, remember. So you are actually imparting your knowledge to others. That way you are actually rich. But whenever a lot of influences, expansive influence of Jupiter is in the 12th house, it means that it is going to give you a lot of bigger losses. Okay, so you will get losses because of your less inclination towards making money. Okay, and also you will be interested in studying, and you will have few children. You will be proficient in mathematics, Ganit Shastragya. Okay, and you will be having loose characters. Sambhogi means you will have relationship with many people, many other loose character, as we say. So if Jupiter is associated with benefic, or it's in its own sign of exaltation, then the native will go to the heaven after the death. So that is something which is a very positive placement, as we say. So people actually, I've seen, who are very spiritual, or in the last life, of their life, of breaking through the vicious cycle of life and death. So this is the one which is actually a very positive placement. It's said that this is your last birth also, and the native will go to the heaven. So the Jupiter, if associated with the malefic planets, then it will give you, you will spend a lot of money. You will have, and you will spend. See, it is also the house of charity. So it can be that you will be spending a lot of money on charity, expenditure on charity. You become very charitable, and you get sexually very, very, agitated. So that is also one thing which is observed in the 12th house, Jupiter. And here this Jupiter will be giving you a lot of, will make you a villain as per Brihad Jataka. It will make you villain. Why? Because you are doing things which are not the conventional way. So this is not considered to be a very positive placement for the sexual part, as we say. So the native is disliked by others. Maybe he has vulgar speech. Phaldipika says so. He will be childless, will be indulging in sinful deeds, will be lazy. And because it's looking at your fourth house also, so this will also make you lazy, because fourth house is house of your own house. Okay. And lastly, it will be giving you, as per Chamatkar Chintamani, it is like spending on good causes. He's spending too much of money on these things. So that's what. So yeah, so this is it for the Jupiter in the houses. Signs will be different. So let's see how it goes. All right.
That was wonderful. Yeah, thank you so much, Vanita. We should definitely make the one in actual signs, and also for Venus too. I think it'll be nice.
That'll be nice too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I hope you guys all enjoy it, and we'll come back with another video, hopefully with the Venus signs. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me over.
Thank you.
Thank you.